Today on ECHL Week, the commissioner of the ECHL speaks, and we listen. A first-round playoff preview in California. It's time for another look at a new team and a chat with its coach. Plus, a mascot is having a birthday party, and you're invited to watch right now on ECHL Week.
We're here with ECHL Commissioner Brian McKenna, and we're very happy to be here at the ECHL offices in Princeton, New Jersey, talking a little bit about the state of the league. Mr. Commissioner, if I may, let's talk first about the four new teams in the league. Looking at the attendance figures, looking at the product on the ice, I'd have to say that the league must be fairly pleased with how those four new teams have turned out so far this year. Is that an accurate assessment?
Yeah, Barry, we're very pleased with the way the four new entrants in the league have performed this year. From a business point of view, we're up about 11% in attendance over where we were at this point last year, and in large measure that's due to the performance of the four new teams. So two true expansion teams in San Francisco and Orlando, and then of course the two teams coming over from the CHL with Fort Wayne and Evansville. But all have been great additions to our league, and all have been above the league average in terms of attendance. And of course you see Fort Wayne leading the way in our overall attendance. So we're very happy with their performance. They've been good additions for us, and again, in all those markets, certainly front office staff working extremely hard to do a great job and bring ECHL hockey to their fans.
How about from a business standpoint? Have you been satisfied and happy with what those four new teams have brought to the table?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, again, in the case of Fort Wayne and Evansville, Fort Wayne's been around for 60 years, so there's a very experienced management group and sales team in that market, understands the market very well, and we knew that there was an outstanding core base of fans in Fort Wayne. Evansville, playing in a year-old facility, the Ford Center down there, which is a beautiful facility as well. They also had a staff in place now for several years and have done a nice job. And then, of course, the bigger challenge is your expansion markets. But in Orlando, again, a very experienced management team there. And in San Francisco, they've worked very hard there over the past 18 months to put together a front office and be able to brand themselves in the marketplace and be able to get some attention in a very large market. So I think in all four cases, with different challenges, they've done a very good job. And as I said before, been great additions to our league.
Address the success stories in the rest of the league. Obviously, Ontario is doing very well at the box office, and some other teams as well. Talk about some of the shining stars, if you will, in terms of the business standpoint from the ECHL.
Well, I think you certainly hit on one there with Ontario. Their numbers are up substantially this year, and traditional wisdom for minor league sports, minor league hockey, has been that after the first 2 or 3 years there would be a decline after the honeymoon period's over. They're in their 5th year out there now, and their numbers have never been better, and they're actually up substantially over last year in terms of attendance and total revenue. So that's a credit to Justin Kemp and his staff and the job that they've done there. I think if you look around the league as well, we've had substantial increases this year in attendance in several other markets. Las Vegas is up. Utah is up substantially in the East. Again, we're seeing a nice resurgence in several markets here as well, and not the least of which is Florida, which is up this year. Gwinnett's up this year. Toledo's up this year. So we have, I think, without fail, front office staffs in all of our markets around the league that are working extremely hard to continue to expose new fans to the game and entertain the fans that have followed their teams and our league for a number of years.
Where are there areas that the league might have some concerns at this point?
Well, I think anytime you've got a team or a league with 23 teams, you're going to have 2 or 3 or 4 markets that you'd like to see do better. Without going into detail on any of those markets, we still have that. In general, things have never been better in terms of overall attendance and revenues from a business point of view. But we are working hard with several of our teams now to try to make sure that we increase the ticket base, increase the fan base in each of those markets, and that's part of what we're charged to do as a league office here, is give assistance, be able to share best practices, work with our teams on an individual basis, particularly ones that are struggling a little bit, and we'll continue to do that.
We'll continue our conversation with League Commissioner Brian McKenna next time on ECHL Week. A couple more ECHL graduates have made their way to Major League Hockey. Goaltender Jeff Frazee, who saw some playing time with the Trenton Devils in the 2008-09 season, made his NHL debut for New Jersey in a loss at Carolina. The former University of Minnesota Golden Gopher played the third period and stopped all 3 shots he saw in his NHL debut. Forward Steve Pinizzato, a member of the South Carolina Stingrays over 2 seasons, got his NHL feet wet with Vancouver in a recent victory over Nashville. He dropped the gloves with the Predators' Kevin Klein on his first Major League shift and was credited with a shot during his 11 minutes of ice time. 17 former ECHL players have made their NHL debuts this season. We'll take a look at what could be a first-round playoff preview, and one of the league's expansion teams has had an impressive debut season. That's still to come on ECHL Week. The playoffs are getting close, and our Western Conference featured game this week could easily be a preview of the first round of the postseason. Alaska is on track to earn the Brabham Cup for the best record in the league during the regular season. Meanwhile, San Francisco is still fighting to nail down the final Western playoff spot. Someone might well be trying to send a message here. Providing the description, Jason Lockhart and Joe Castellano on the Comcast Hometown Network.
As they square off at center ice, Schultz coming from Utah gets a couple of quick licks in on Molly. Schultz with his right hand 3. Molly trying to recover, 2 of them wailing at one another. Schultz fending off Molly as they grapple for a bit, get in close, hog tie one another for a moment. Schultz has his right arm free trying to get loose, and he has gotten rid of his elbow pads. Molly getting in close, Schultz trying to retaliate as the men spin around just inside the Aces' defensive zone. And now the linesman will separate them. And our first tussle, 90 seconds into the contest. And Bobby Hughes will clear it up to the wall. Not out, Michael Tam knocks his man Alexander Imbo down to the ice. Imbo was a healthy scratch yesterday. Imbo carries, and now we're going to get a fight breaking out. Michael Tam and Chris Claxon as Michael Tam going at Claxon right in front of the Alaska Aces bench as they wrap each other up. The linesmen thinking about breaking up, and now they don't. Tam Loses his helmet. Claxton going underneath on Tam as he gets taken down. And the two of them will separate. 4 minutes and 36 seconds into the first, and it's a rowdy one here already. And the Aces will take it. Mazzolini, his toe drag move, stop, bouncing puck. Trupp will get to it, drops it off. And the backhand shot, and they score. Alexander Imbo over the shoulder of Nelson. Cleared out. Christian Millette Nick Walsh will carry in, punches it down low. Walsh steals it offensive zone, feeds over to Christian Millette. Pass goes down low. Shot stopped by Coleman as redirected in front by Yanni Gord. Willette keeps in for the Bulls, drops from back from Willette. Walsh in front, Gord scores!
Gord finds himself alone in front of the goaltender. It's everybody's dream. I mean, that should be an easy goal. Skating across in front of the crease there.
Alaska on the power play, 0 for 1 in the game, as Scott Langdon called for 2 minutes for elbowing, and that's a goal by Mazzolini, wide open in front.
It's just wide open. He could take a pick of where he wants to shoot it, basically, and just fired it.
Nate Pepin reverses it, King up the wall, and it will be tipped out by Corey Felitti. Stolen away, Cameron in, shot, scores!
You haven't seen that very often. That's a shot, too, that he went for the stick side. He went up high, stick side, and he beats Coleman, who just couldn't get his arm on it.
The right side, Harrison in, shot, stopped by Nelson, scored on the rebound. As it was lying there in the crease, and the Aces bang it home.
Nelson did not stop it cleanly. He got a good piece of it, but then it just trickled right in front of the net. That was just an easy goal for Hudson to collect that.
One, but the Aces get to it, and that is going to do it for the game. The Aces escape with the 3-2 victory against the Bulls.
There have been a number of players who have earned 5 points in a game this season, and we want to add another to the list. TJ Seiner of Reading notched a natural hat trick and then added a couple of assists in the Royals' 7-1 recent home victory over Wheeling. Seiner, a first-year pro from Springfield, Massachusetts, is averaging over a point a game in the ECHL this season. The day after his effort, he was recalled to Hershey of the AHL for the 5th time this year. Reading, Cincinnati, and Gwinnett are the first Eastern Conference teams to nail down playoff spots. ECHL Week continues.
So many reasons to be a fan, so many ways to show it. Customize your own at shop.nhl.com.
Over the past few weeks, we've taken looks at the new teams in the league this season. There's one club we still have to talk about, the Orlando Solar Bears. In November of 2011, the ECHL approved the Solar Bears expansion application for admission to the league. But the Solar Bears name is far from new. A team with the same name competed in the old International Hockey League for 6 years, starting in 1995. In fact, Orlando was the last Turner Cup champion of that league, which lasted for more than half a century before it went out of business in 2001. The new Solar Bears have plenty going for them, not the least of which is having the posh Amway Center as their home arena, a facility they share with the Orlando Magic of the National Basketball Association. The box office there has been busy too, as the Bears are third in the ECHL in average attendance. As one of the two true expansion teams which joined the league this year, they've been pretty successful. Although they're not likely to make the playoffs, every other team in their division is likely to qualify for postseason play, evidence of the Bears' challenging schedule this season. Drake Burachowski is the first-year coach of the Bears. You may recognize him as a longtime NHL defenseman who competed with 6 clubs and had more than 500 games under his belt during 14 seasons through the 1990s and early 2000s. Despite his long playing career and a couple of assistant coaching stops, Burachowski is dealing with being the top man this season. We caught up with him recently and he discussed the challenges of being a rookie head coach and whether he'd run into any unexpected surprises this year, especially considering he's handling a brand new club.
I think I was prepared. I have a lot of people I make phone calls to, a lot of former coaches in the East Coast. I have a lot of mentors that I've learned through over the years. There's some NHL ones, there's some guys in the East Coast League. I'll go back and even ask players that played in the league for help. My support, like I said, my support staff, immediate support staff has been great, and my outside support staff has been fantastic. I can call Davis Payne, a former coach, or Jared Bednar. There's players I can call. I have relationships with so many people that have been here, either in one capacity or another, that, I use those resources as much as I can.
The support and the feeling of the hockey community in Orlando and in Central Florida, and considering that there was a team there many years ago, but this is a new team, it's a new franchise, and how that's been, what kind of effect that's had on you and on the team.
The support's been wonderful. I remember back in the day when I was the IHL. I remember coming there and playing there, and it was fantastic. That was the destination spot. All the guys wanted to go and play there. They have great teams, great coaching, great setup. And you come this year, and 10 years later, the facility is fantastic. We play in the Amway, beautiful rink. Our practice facility is second to none. It's like an NHL practice facility. I don't think many teams can compete with the facilities that we have. I think the fans have come out and supported real well. They've come out, I think we're second or third in the league in attendance. They love the hockey. They love the fact that the Solar Bears are there. And it's a fun entertainment for them.
How's Drake coordinating and running the show?
Yeah, obviously, I think he's done a great job thus far. It's obviously his first year coaching the East Coast, and just like myself, it's a learning experience. Guys I'm sure he's learned a lot throughout the games we've played so far, and he's had a lot more on his plate coming from the American League, and he has a lot more things going on down here as a head coach and head of hockey operations and things like that. But overall, I think he's done a great job, and he's been around for a long time. He's been in the National Hockey League, I think, for 16 years, played on multiple teams. So, like I said, he's learned great amounts over the last few years and the last 2 decades. So, and I think he's brought that down here to Orlando.
Does it make you feel maybe a little older, but also kind of proud and maybe nostalgic when you look at these guys and say, it wasn't that long ago I was doing this, but I'm happy that I'm making that difference and seeing them grow, not just as players, but as people?
Oh, definitely. And, that was one of my key statements in any interview process I've done or with this team. The one thing I am most proud of is seeing these guys to progress. Taking what I've learned over the last 15, 20 years that I've played, the things I've learned from every coach that I've had as a player and as a coach, and implementing it into our hockey culture in Orlando, implementing it into their game. And when I talk to some of those kids in the summertime, when they thank me and they say they're having fun playing, and it makes me feel good inside. And like I said, as an organization, The Solar Bears are sure proud of everybody that they've moved on, and personally for myself, I love to see that. That's nothing better for a coach to see a player move on and have the success.
In a couple of years, when you think back to this year, the first year of Orlando, the first year as a head coach, is there one particular thing or just a couple things that will really stand out in your mind and stick with you for a long time, or is it more of the whole experience kind of deal?
I think it's the whole experience. When I get to that next level, I'll probably look back and say, wow, that was a tough job. When you're starting out with 0 players, you don't have a supplemental draft, and you have to put a team together, and a competitive team. And our team's been competitive all year. I think there's been a couple times when we should have won some games that we didn't, and it's a tough pill to swallow that we're out of the playoffs. But as an expansion team, starting from scratch, I'm really proud of what we've done as a group. When I look back on it, I think coaches in this league, if you can coach in this league and be a GM in this league, going up to that next level, I think. I hate to say it's easier, but you won't have the workload, and you can solely focus on the coaching aspect of the game. Here, you're focused on trades, you're focused on player movement, apartments. It's a tough job, and these guys here, they work hard, and I'm proud to be part of that brotherhood.
Straight ahead, our Eastern Conference featured game. Plus, a birthday party to which you're invited. Next on ECHL Week.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
From opening night until the Kelly Cup is raised, watch every game of the 2012-13 ECHL season exclusively on AmericaOneSports.com. Catch the action live or on demand. Games available on your PC, Mac, or mobile device. The biggest goals, hardest hits, and spectacular saves all season long can be found only at AmericaOneSports.com, the official broadband broadcaster to the ECHL.
Evansville captain Todd Robinson, who's all but certain to wind up as the league leader in assists, has been granted permission to leave the team and join first-place Allen of the Central Hockey League. Robinson, a center, finished his ECHL season with 7 goals and a league-leading 61 assists in 57 games. Our Eastern featured game this week looks at 2 of the league's first-year clubs doing battle in a North Division matchup. Evansville's been hard hit by injuries all season and won't make the postseason. And while Fort Wayne's still on the outside of the playoff picture, the Comets have a chance to keep playing in April. Bob Chase and Robbie Irons handle the announcing duties for us on News Talk 1190 WOWO.
There it is, right there.
Score, there we are, deflected.
Deflected in front of the net, and I believe maybe it was Milam who got it, I'm not sure.
Well, I think Schaus was the one that let the shot go. It hit about 2 players before it actually went up and over the goaltender's shoulder and into the net. Power play goal, Comets.
Evansville behind their own net trying to organize the rush, and up they come on the move towards center ice. It's St. Marie to the Fort Wayne line, broken up. Comets in again, Beauregard there, shoots, save.
On the net, rebound.
They got it. Giosa picks up the rebound.
Yeah. They walked in, nice little give and go outside the blue line. Giosa to Beauregard. Beauregard walks in, about the top of the circle. He lets a quick wrist shot go up high on the goaltender. He lets the rebound go, and Giosa, he just swooped in, got the thing, and whacked it in the net.
Tough pass.
Yeah, between the feet.
Between the feet, and Schaus was not even close to ready for it. Look out, back in you go. Robinson out front. They scored.
Yeah, they get the loose puck off the boards. Nobody picks it up. And Robinson sees the man on the far side open, throws him a pass. Charlie slides to slide out to him. He got a piece of it, but unfortunately had enough momentum on it, goes in the net.
Gave it off on the wall. Hegarty working his way back. Hegarty spins away from the check. Out at center ice. Good move. It's Giosa, and he comes at the net. Score! Comets with it down deep on the zone. Right behind their net. Wheeler waits. Feeds back out as it is turned up the wall as Hegarty couldn't clear it. Now they get it cleared. Back at the line. Jamming for it in the corner. Look out. Got a man out front. Whoa, they score. Cough it up at the line. Clark gets it.
Clark gets the other goal.
And the time of that one.
And again, up the boards they tried to go. The defense lose it on the boards. Clark picks up the loose puck, breaks in. The other defenseman cuts across, so it takes away the deke, but the blast was inside the goalpost.
Smitty and Robinson, a couple of veterans who've been in the face-off circle before. Here they come. Oh, bad pass. Front of the net. Robbie all tied up on the play. Left side. They score.
Off the crossbar. No, it's in.
It's in there.
Right underneath the crossbar, up into the top. As they get the puck from a broken play off the face-off, they throw it diagonally right across. They have the man standing on the far dot over there. He lets fly. Charlie moves across to it, but the shot goes right up underneath the crossbar.
Into the zone. Here's Marino. He's there. He fires.
A rebound.
On a rebound.
There we are.
Dunbar.
Well, Marino did most of the work there. He intercepted it at center, broke down. He had a 2-on-1 with Dunbar. He let the shot go. The goaltender, Reed, caught it off the chest and come right back to Marino. He got another shot on goal, then picked away at it and went over the open side.
Here's Wheeler all the way up front, winning away behind the net to Schrock. Schrocker gets some daylight, cuts loose, up the middle, drive!
Score, there we are.
What a shot.
Sarazinski or Furman?
I think it was Sarazinski, was it?
Yeah.
Whoever was there.
It might be Furman. Furman is playing.
Furman's
I can't
the guy,
see his number, but
Furman got it.
Furman got it.
Can't make the play. Down they come. Bounced away as Marino. Still got it. Buzzer. End of hockey game. Final score, 6-3 Comets.
One other note about the Comets. Fort Wayne Assistant Equipment Manager Steve Wisman has worked his 2,000th pro game. Wisman, who's from Fort Wayne, began his career in the late 80s when he accepted his first pro position as Comets equipment manager and trainer. He's worked for more than a dozen teams since, including the St. Louis Blues and the NHL. Wisman came back to the Comets last season and teams with equipment manager Joe Franke, who's worked nearly 3,000 games in his career. There's no denying that team mascots are a big hit, particularly with the kids. Some grown-ups get a kick out of them too. When a few of them get together, all sorts of crazy things can happen. We're fortunate enough to have video of Slapshot, the Reading Royals mascot, who recently celebrated his 12th birthday. In addition to his special friend, Tiara, about 20 other mascots from central and eastern Pennsylvania were in Reading to join in the party and play quite a game of musical chairs. Take a look.
Hi, everybody.
Happy birthday, Slapshot. Those mascots sure know how to have a good time. Also, a quick shout out to our friends in Georgia, now watching ECHL Week before games in the arena at Gwinnett Center. Nice to have you with us. That wraps up our show for today. Don't forget, once the playoffs start, your best source for complete coverage all the way to the presentation of the Kelly Cup will be right here. Until next time, make it a good week. Make it an ECHL Week.